Hi. Well, in this particular segment of our sharpening understanding, we're going to do the items that we get almost half our work. If you advertise, it brings people in, and that's their gardening tools. We're going to be doing the hand clippers, some loppers, a little tool for digging in the soil, and that's about it. We do have these kind of head shears, but that's one of the harder things to do, and we're not going to show it right now because we're going to use that over when we do bigger tools later. So the simplicity of it is that most of the gardening tools have very soft steel. So you can just take the carbide tipped sharpening tool. They're very inexpensive, and you can just do it like this. You just pull the steel. Now when I work at farmers market, I work on, I'll show you, I'm sitting down at a little bench and I work off my knee. And a lot of times when I'm doing gardening tools, I'll wear a left-handed glove that gives, so it makes me more strong and able to work better. And it's just this simple. You put your knee up and you use this carbide tip thing and you sharpen it. Now, if you hold it so the square part is forward, it'll cut the steel. If you put the sharp part back, it burnishes it. Now, the difference between sharpening and burnishing is sharpening takes the steel away, burnishing pushes the steel. So after you've done it, you take the burrs off and burnish the back, and that's it. You see, hand clippers are the easiest tool of all, with one small exception. If they're real hard steel or they've never been sharpened before, you turn this on low speed with some nice thing. And you see, I'm going to put it right there, I've established a new angle. Sometimes they're sharpened so much that the angle is gone, and then you use the grinder, that half-inch belt sander, to reestablish the angle. So easy. It really is easy. And there's you don't have to worry so much about burrs. It's easy to do. Now the next tool that you get a lot of, and people think it's real hard, but in some ways it's easy. I'm going to review my belt sander here. The belt sander has a like 150 grit. I'm using it low speed, and not, if I find myself pushing very hard, it means that the belt has gone soft, has worn out, and we don't want to create heat. And it's the one thing we can do wrong. So you take a pair of loppers. Here's a nice pair of loppers. You open them up. You can clamp them if it's at your desk, or you can freehand it, but it's this simple. See, I sharpened that in front of your eyes and reestablish the angle right here. And I would take my honing tool. The carbide tip is a honing tool, the same as sandpaper, and I do the back side to take the burrs off, and that's about it. Now, I have some other tools over here that sometimes are used if you can't, some loppers you can't get in there, so you can use these little hand honing tools, or if there's a little part you can't get, you can really work it with the carbide, because sometimes you can't get that last little bit with your tool. But see, you see, what I'm trying to say is that this is it. This is it. That's all it takes to sharpen a loppers, and it's a huge advantage to people. I mean, they got loppers that. Now, we'll talk a little bit about how to do the marking. If somebody gives you a pair of loppers and it's got nicks and everything in it, you have to do not do it unless you tell them. If any time they give you a tool and it's broken or abused, You make sure you tell the customer, and whenever someone hands me something, I inspect every blade so that I'm not, and here's a little short story. One lady gave me one, and I tried to tell her. Then I fixed a bunch of gouges and nicks in her blade, and it looked like I sharpened it out of existence. As a principle, you take as little steel as you can to make the tool functional. I'm going to repeat that. You take as little steel as possible to make the tool back functional. You're not grinding away, especially on cutlery and on things. You don't want to take so much steel that you're shortening the life of the tool. Now, one other thing that comes in the form of gardening tools are these kind of devices. There's all kinds of people have all kinds. They have hula hose and all kinds of things, and it's just simple. I freehand them with low speed. Let me turn this on. It's no different than this. Now, I'm only doing half of it there, but you see, when you take a tool like this and you do that, it really makes it work twice as fast. And after you do that side, you always deburr by pulling down. You can deburr with a honing tool, or you can deburr with a diamond honing tool. So you get rid of the burrs. So here you have it, the bread and butter items, your basic pruners. And if ever I give a free deal, I say bring in your pruners and some other items, and we'll do the pruners for free or something, because it really works. All kinds of unusual tools, and they're all easy, but you just have to think about it yourself. And then loppers, people think they're a big deal. They're kind of hard. So listen, what we're going to do is we're going to go straight into scissors, because we'll keep it as short as possible. Now, you get a lot of scissors that people come to you and they say, these scissors are really custom and they're beautiful and they're my sewing scissors. Can you do it? And your answer always is, yeah, I can do it. And it's so simple. The more high quality they are, the easier they are in a sense, because you use your honing tool, your carbide tip tool, and you reestablish the angle by pulling it down. Generally speaking, you're using a burnishing. That means you're pulling it and not cutting the metal, and it will come back to razor sharp real easy. That's so important with custom scissors, because you get the good work. But there's only one other thing in scissors that you need to know. If they are bent and paper will go down through them, then you can't sharpen them. You can sharpen them, but they won't work. So that's one thing you need to do, is make sure if the scissors don't work, they don't work. Now, then you have all kinds of specialty scissors. And for the most part, I like to use the carbide tip tool and go down like this. And then at the very end, I take the burrs off this way, and that's real good. If a pair of scissors or a pair of loppers or something is completely destroyed, you can chuck it in your knife, in your drill press clamp, or you can hold it stationary and recut it. Very seldom do that, and if you do it, you put something like 600 grit or 800 grit in your sandpaper. Now, when we do knives and we do gardening tools, we're using like 150, 240. But when you do custom scissors or some other tools, you go up to 800. And the thing about scissors in your business is the people that you do their scissors, so they really like it. The veterinarian people next to where I do farmers market, they brought me in 20 pair. And, because they use them to cut Band-Aids off of animals, and they want them sharp. That's it. So this is it. Gardening tools are simple, they're easy to advertise, and a lot of them you do freehand. Once you get your belt sander, you're going at low RPMs, nice sharp sandpaper, and don't burn the blades. Take off your burrs with either a honing tool or a carbide tip handheld sharpener, that's it.